What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Yesterday, the Minnesota Timberwolves lost to the Blazers, pretty much G League squad with Shaedon Sharpe, where they went to the game as 17.5-point favorites. According to statistics, this was the biggest upset in the past 30 years, apparently, and it's got a lot of Minnesota fans super upset. So today, I'm going to jump in and do a Timberwolves rebuild, and let's fix the mess that the Timberwolves have created. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one, subscribe if you are new to the channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We're getting close to 33,000 subscribers, so if you're not subscribed, yeah, that'd be greatly helpful. So next week we are going to be starting our off-season rebuild, so we'll start to do the teams that have been eliminated. But Minnesota, man, like I said, I'm going to get into them as another off-season rebuild, so I might get to them here soon again. But them losing to my Blazers yesterday with the way they did, it just inspired me to come in here and do this video today. I kind of just had to. So the way I plan on fixing this is I think I'm going to trade Karl-Anthony Towns in the offseason. I think that's what I want to do. That's basically what this video is going to be. Is I've seen a lot of Minnesota fans just say they're done with Cat. They already got Gobert. You're not going to be able to trade Gobert for too much. Karl-Anthony Towns might net you some, whatever it may be. So that you can, collect some assets that you lost for Karl-Anthony Towns potentially. Give Anthony Edwards the full freedom to be that scorer. Hope McDaniels could turn into something for you. And that's kind of what we're going to roll with. And Gobert will be that center we traded for. And we'll just have to roll with that. So that's what I plan on doing today. I plan on trading Karl-Anthony Towns and trying to get something good for him. They've played it without him pretty much all year anyway. And I'll probably end up firing Chris Finch as well. A lot of Minnesota fans are upset. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. So I'm going to go ahead somewhere to the end of the season, see if we even make the playoffs or not, and then we'll go from there. Today's video is brought to you by Ewin Racing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I got this new chair recently, and it was sent out to me by Ewin Racing. It is super cool, and I'm going to tell you a little more about it. So this chair can hold up to 400 pounds. Thankfully, I'm not 400 pounds, though, so I don't really have to worry about that. It's got 2D armrests and glittering PU leather. And honestly, this chair is super comfortable. I can lay back in it. I can lean it back if I need to. It's just like super durable and like super universal. I'm super excited about having it. If you have any interest in wanting to get a new gaming chair, I highly recommend Ewin Racing. They actually hooked me up with a 20% off code. I'm going to leave that down in the link in the description below. So if you want to go check out their website, link to that's also in the description. Use my code, get 20% off, and go get one of the new chairs. Thank you, Ewin Racing, for sponsoring this video. So we did end up making it into the play-in tournament, which is great. We can go look at the player stats real quick. So obviously, this is going to be Anthony Edwards' team going forward. I do like Karl-Anthony Towns, but like I said, I am going to try to trade him away and get some assets for him. I'm not saying they're going to do that in real life, but that is what I plan on doing in today's video to make this somewhat different from what I did last time. Because last time, I think I traded Gobert away. So today, I'm going to be trading Karl-Anthony Towns. I just did a Timberwolves rebuild like 2 weeks ago, and here I am again. So let's go ahead and see if we can get past the Thunder. We do lose, so Oklahoma City is going to advance. And we got LA in the playoffs. They might upset Denver in round 1. They don't, though. Denver takes care of business. Got Phoenix making it all the way to the finals. You got Atlanta, once again, still very good in the simulation as the 7 seed makes it. And the Suns go on to win a championship with Kevin Durant as your finals MVP. So the first order of business this offseason is I think every Minnesota fan wants this to happen. We are going to be firing Chris Finch. Once you make a big trade like the Timberwolves did and it does not work out and you might miss the playoffs, might miss the play-in entirely, I think it's safe to say you're going to lose your job as a head coach. There's just too high of expectations to be this disappointing all year. You could argue that he has dealt with injuries, and I definitely understand that, but it feels like a lot of Minnesota, fans want him gone. So we're going to do that. We got to make sure we get a head coach as well. I don't know why I'm just like skipping that part. So head coaches that we could hire. We got like Will Hardy, Chris Finch, Madison, Murphy, AC Baker. I don't want to go with Will Hardy. Got Wes Unseld. I kind of want to get a real head coach, but at the same time, I don't really know where that is. So I guess I'm just going to have to hire somebody and just call it good. So we got Jay Sean Ross here. He's got A+ offense, B defensive coaching. I could go with Michael Stauffer, but obviously feels like a cheat code if I just went with him. He's got A+ across the board. I'm going to go with Jay Sean Ross to be my head coach. Don't know who he is, but welcome to the team. And then let's go with Wing Whisperer here, and I'll go with Gilbert. So sign him. Got Jay Sean Ross as our brand new head coach. No badges, so that makes me a little nervous. But heading into draft night, I want to try to trade Karl-Anthony Towns before draft night to see if we can get ourselves a pick in this draft. So that is the next plan of action. If I don't trade Cat on draft night, I'll wait till after the draft. But yeah, Karl-Anthony Towns, I'm going to trade you in today's video to make it somewhat interesting today. So this is the trade we're going to do with Karl Anthony Towns. So I honestly don't love this trade, giving up this unprotected 2024 pick, but I kind of have to get this to go through, which is quite annoying. But basically, if you ignore what we have to give up, because I plan on being good anyway, so this 2024 pick isn't really going to bother us too much because I think our team's going to be good enough to make the playoffs, so it's whatever, I guess. But basically, John Collins, DeAndre Hunter, the 15th overall pick in this draft, a lot of protected pick, and then AJ Griffin. So I honestly feel pretty good about this haul we're getting. Ignore the 2 picks that we're giving up. If we're just getting this for Karl Anthony Towns and the Hawks just go all in, obviously they made the finals, but in real life, if like they were going all in on another guy to put next to Murray and Trae Young, they can go out and get Karl Anthony Towns. I'm gonna do this trade, and just like that, Karl Anthony Towns is now an Atlanta Hawk. They still have Capella, so I don't know what they plan on doing with him. So I could go ahead and I guess move Karl Anthony Towns back to power forward for them, just so they have that kind of shaped up. So he's back at power forward, and now we have some young guys to be excited about. So we got like DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, we got McDaniel still here, and then we also got AJ Griffin. So I felt pretty good about the return we got, and we had the 15th overall pick, so I feel pretty good about that on top of that. So let's jump into number 15 and let's see what we can get. So hopefully we can get like a really good point guard here. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I see Anthony Black, and he honestly might be perfect for what we need right now. We got Nick Smith Jr. as well, who could become a really dynamic scorer next to Anthony Edwards. So do I want to go Nick Smith or do I want to go Anthony Black? I'm not really sure. 6'7". I feel like I'm going to take Anthony Black. I'm going to take Anthony Black. I feel like I've taken Nick Smith a lot more than I have taken like Anthony Black in the past. So I'm okay with that. We got Anton Watson, Colby Jones, Marcus Sasser. I'll go ahead and take a backup point guard, and I think that'll be my draft. So overall, I feel really good about how we come out so far this offseason. So Anthony Black is probably going to be our starting point guard right away. We'll see. We're definitely going a little younger potentially. I still want to make the playoffs, of course, but Sasser and Anthony Black, welcome to the team. Player options, Mike Conley, I'm going to actually decline that. And then Anthony Edwards is going to accept, and I'm going to accept McDaniels, and everyone else I'm going to decline as well. So I'm going to decline Mike Conley because we don't really have much assets left anyway to trade him away. So we're just going to let him go. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a free agent. And then free agency time, we might actually have cap space. I don't know if we actually do. Yeah, we actually have a little bit of money that we could maybe sign someone in free agency, which is honestly going to be really clutch. Well, I feel like we have some money anyway, so maybe we don't. It says I'm a little like I can offer Kyrie. Or maybe not. Maybe I don't have any. I don't have a crazy amount of money. Never mind. I was kind of misreading that. So, Anthony Black and Sasser are our point guard right now. I don't really know if I want to start Anthony Black right away. We got Edwards at the 2. Of course, I love that. DeAndre Hunter, McDaniels, AJ Griffin. One of these guys are probably going to be playing backup shooting guard. Collins would be the 4, or we'll figure it out. I want McDaniels to still start. Maybe we'll have Hunter at the shooting guard, like maybe play Anthony Edwards our point guard. I don't know. We might get a little weird here. Gobert, center spot. We'll see what we want to do. So, free agency. I could use another backup center. I think I do want to just bring back Naz Reid, probably one of the better backup centers in the NBA. So I'm going to use my money on Naz Reid. I think that makes all the sense in the world to do that. So let's sign Naz Reid back. I'm not bringing back Mike Conley, unfortunately. So let's see what other bird rights I have. I think we have bird rights in Jalen Noel. I'm going to re-sign him. And then do we have Alexander Walker, McLaughlin? I'm not really worried about any of those other guys. And then we got Conley, Burks, DiVincenzo's here, Hamidou Diallo, Jay Crowder, and then Nick Rick. Okay, let me decide on how I want to do this first. So right now we have Gobert, Naz Reid. That's good. Collins is the 4. I'm going to keep that the way it is. We got Hunter, McDaniels, and AJ Griffin. So what do I want to do here? Do I want to move like Edwards to point guard? Do I want to get weird here? He's going to go down in overall, but let's see what we decide to do. So Hunter at the 2, he would go down as well. But I feel like we could do something like this. It'll be a little unorthodox, but we'll have Edwards at the point. He'll be kind of handling the ball. I mean, it's kind of universal. It's not going to matter too much. I'm going to move Noel to shooting guard. That way we can have Anthony Black play some backup point guard minutes. So we'll have that. We'll go Edwards, Anthony Black, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Noel. We'll have Jaden McDaniels, AJ Griffin, Collins, Gobert, and Naz Reid. It's a little interesting. I guess the biggest thing I got to hope for is a jump from Jaden McDaniels. I think that's what we're going to kind of bank on. We'll have Hunter to play some defense. Defensively, this is looking pretty good. It's not looking too bad. Outside of John Collins, I really like what we have defensively, so I feel good about that. The only other thing we could use maybe is a backup 4. So I saw like Jay Crowder. We got Lyles out here, like Reggie Bullock. So maybe a Kenrich Williams off the bench if we wanted, or even like signing a Grant Williams from Boston could be kind of fun. I don't know. We could go with that. I'm going to go ahead and give Grant Williams a deal, 2 years, $9 million, and that will be our last signing in free agency. So definitely an interesting offseason, but let's go to player progression. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is back. So you have Edwards up to an 89. So it doesn't even matter that I moved him to point guard. Collins is up to an 84. So yeah, he obviously went down overall like crazy. Perimeter defense sucks, but we can work with it. Rudy Gobert is down. Kind of figured that could happen. So eventually, might have to replace Gobert. McDaniels is up. We have AJ Griffin is up, and then Joe Noel, Grant Williams, all developing as well. So yeah, I feel pretty good about how that offseason went. I need to boost some shot tendencies around Anthony Edwards, but Edwards is going to be having all the freedom in the world to be him, basically. Like, there's not anyone who could take the majority of shots away from him. He's going to be able to do whatever he wants out there. So that I feel pretty good about. So let's go look at our rotation, see how it's looking. So power rank is going to last 13. So they still feel pretty confident about us potentially make the playoffs. They actually want to start AJ Griffin, which is kind of interesting. So Edwards, Hunter, AJ Griffin, John Collins, Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, Joe Noel, and then Grant Williams. So I love our rotation. Let's look at our proficiency. Proficiency, 3-star pace and space. Can we go 4-star pace or 7 seconds would give us 3.5. So move it to 3.5, and then I'll move that in a second. I'll move that when I start simulating. But shot tendencies is where I want to look at it. So Edwards, I want him to take like so many shots. I'll get to a 98. Collins, I'm okay with like a 75. I don't really want Collins to develop into anything too crazy. But I'll go like 72 or 73 on him. So something like that. Gobert, don't need him to take shots. AJ Griffin, do I want to develop AJ Griffin or McDaniels more? I feel like AJ Griffin develops way more in 2K. So since they do want to start him, I guess I'll boost him up to an 80. And I want to boost McDaniels as well. So I'm going to go something like this. And that will be what I roll with. So I'm going to roll with that, and we'll see how that goes. So hopefully, with those changes, this team can still make the playoffs, like I said. We'll see how it goes. We have traded Karl-Anthony Towns, and we are definitely in a way different position. So we'll see how this team does. Hopefully, I'll see you all in the playoffs. So at the end of the season, Darius Garland wins MVP. Henderson is your Rookie of the Year in Washington. Cole Anthony, 6th man, Giannis Offensive Player, and Garland also wins Most Improved. So MVP and Most Improved, and Coach of the Year goes to Quinn Snyder with Karl-Anthony Towns. So I probably made them more overpowered than they already were. I thought maybe taking some depth from Atlanta would fix that later on, but I guess it does not. So they got the 1st seed in the West or in the East, and we got the 5th seed. So we did make the playoffs, which is awesome because we gave up our pick. So I'm glad we're in the playoffs. But Edwards, of course, went off with 29 points per game. As far as help was concerned, AJ Griffin averaged 17, 15 from Collins, and 15 from McDaniels. So when you really look at it, there's really no one that stands out as like the number 2 scorer outside of Edwards just yet. So that's maybe something we should be on the lookout for sure. Since we did trade Karl-Anthony Towns away, we kind of went with some, you know, defensive oriented players a little bit outside of like John Collins. But here we go. We get to play Oklahoma City. Let's see what we can get from them, or see if we can maybe take some games from them. They signed Jeremy Grant in free agency, so they have Jalen Williams coming off the bench. So going to be a tough matchup. Here we go. 4 versus 5. So we do take game 1. Edwards 30, 11, and 10, and 22 and 12, and then 20 from AJ Griffin. I think AJ Griffin could really develop into something really special for us, which, by the way, I did change up the rotation a little bit. I moved AJ Griffin to the 2. So I have Edwards still at the point. AJ Griffin's starting in the backcourt with him. McDaniels is starting, then Collins, and Hunter is playing off the bench for us. So that's kind of what I did with him. So we're up 2-1 right now, and we're up 3-1. So far, things are actually looking really good. AJ Griffin, 26 points in this game. So if we can get AJ Griffin to turn like into a really good 2-score next to Edwards, I would feel really good about that right now. He's averaging 17 in the playoffs. And if we can beat Oklahoma City here, that would go a long way, and we beat them. So we beat them in 5 games, and now we get to play New Orleans in round 2. So kind of shocking that we were able to pull that off, but I'm feeling pretty good about how this is going. So here we go. Game 1 against New Orleans, they do win. Fair enough. They win by 6. Game 2, they're up 2-0. So our run might come to an end here unless we even it up, which we do not. 3-1, and we are going to lose in 5. But honestly, getting past OKC, I have to feel really good about. We're not done by any means on what we need to bring to this team, but the fact that we're able to get past Oklahoma City is honestly really impressive. So we got LA and New Orleans, but New Orleans beats them, and you got the Pelicans losing to the Hawks in 5 games. So with them going out and getting Karl-Anthony Towns, the Atlanta Hawks went out there. What do they have? Just have Murray as well. Yeah, they got Murray, at Cat, they got Trae Young, got Capella and Kongwu. Yeah, this team did a really good job. They also got Slow-Mo. So they went out there and they played really nice. So shout out to the Hawks for, I guess, being really damn good. That Sacramento pick ends up at number 8, but unfortunately it is protected. It would be wild if that pick jumped up, and it did. It went to number 3, but unfortunately had some protections on it. So next year it may not have any protections. I'll have to double check. Of course, we're not going to have our pick that is going to land on the Atlanta Hawks. So they get to load even more into their roster after winning a championship. So that definitely sucks. We had to give up that pick. You never would have to give up a pick like that if you're trading Karl-Anthony Towns away, but it is 2K, so it is kind of what it is. So whatever. So let's just fill this out real quick, and then we should be ready to have like a pretty good offseason. So obviously, this team is not a contender. We got to the second round, and that's awesome. I'm sure Minnesota fans would be super ecstatic about that. We all know how happy they were when they just made the playoffs, when they won in those playing games. So, or not playing, or was it? Yeah, when the playing games, I believe they won. So, Edwards is a free agent, obviously a must resign. Gobert is on a 1+1, so is John Collins. So this front court may not stay together here very long. Hunter, 3 years. Naz Reid, of course, we're happy to have him back. I actually really love our bench. Our bench is like super good. So the only thing I really need to focus on is getting a secondary score. Unless if AJ Griffin can turn that, turn into that for us. I don't really know if we have our secondary score. It is funny that Memphis Grizzlies are selling though. I've never really seen that where John Morant is not untouchable. We definitely don't have the assets to pull that off, but man, would that be fun to have an Edwards and Morant backcourt. That would be crazy. I don't know how much trade value Anthony Black has. Yeah. So I don't think we'd be able to pull that off, but that would be crazy if we were able to do something like that. But I don't think we have any draft picks, so I think we can just move past draft night. And we can just literally just focus on re-signing Anthony Edwards. So yeah, we only have a second round pick. I don't care about it. So player options, we got AJ Griffin, Marcus Sasser. I'm going to accept both of those. Qualifying offers, McDaniels and Edwards, both important free agents for us to bring in, of course. So let's make sure we take care of both of them. Alexander Walker, I'm not too, worried about, but let's get past moratorium. That way we can lock both these guys up and be sure they're both back on the team. So I think I think a lot of Minnesota fans would love to have both these guys back. So let's not fumble the bag, and let's make sure they are both back. So 5-year deal. Edwards is going to think about it for a second. Let's see. Does he have another offer? No. So Edwards is going to sign that 5-year max, and we got him back. We have money to sign like another really good player if we want to. We could bring back like Slow-Mo if we needed to. But we have Edwards, Anthony Black, AJ Griffin, Joe Noel, DeAndre Hunter, McDaniels, and you have John Collins, Grant Williams, Gobert, Naz Reid. All right, where do we want to get our secondary scores? The question. I'm hoping AJ Griffin can turn that into us. Turn himself into that for us, but we'll see. I guess I'm going to re-sign Nickeil Alexander-Walker for some depth and maybe a trade piece. I'm going to see how much AJ Griffin goes up in overall. That's going to determine a lot for me. So do you want to sign like another player? I'll sign Willie as well. Why not, on a minimum? And that might be it for me. Jayshawn Tate, I can bring in as a backup small forward. Let's bring in some depth. Why not? So I'm going to go with that, and we'll go with him. And then let's go to player progression. Let's see how this is going. So player progression, we got AJ Griffin up to an 81. Collins up to an 85. Gobert's going down. Hunter's up to an 82. So I want to upgrade my small forward spot, I think, the most. I think I want to roll with AJ Griffin. I would love to start McDaniels, but he just doesn't develop like crazy as much as you'd want him to. Unless maybe I just gave him all the freedom in the world. But I really don't know if he'll develop anything for us. So if I can upgrade the small forward spot, that's kind of what I'm looking at this point. I want to be able to start AJ Griffin. And maybe I could actually, it's kind of universal, because what I could do is I can upgrade the point guard, shooting guard, or small forward, because I can move AJ Griffin to the 3. I can move Edwards back to the 2. Like, there's a lot that I can do here. So I'm going to take a look around the league real quick, look at all 3 of those positions, and see if there's anyone out there that I can snag that would make sense to bring to the team. So here's my big idea. I'm going to try to bring in Lonzo Ball. Of course, he hasn't played basketball in the last 2 seasons. If we're talking about real life, at this point, he'd be maybe making his debut to come back to play basketball. We really don't know what his future holds. But so this would be risky. But if Chicago was willing to give him up, I feel like Naz Reid is a really nice trade piece. We got Marcus Sasser and Joe Noel in this trade as well. Lonzo's trade value wouldn't be that high because, of course, he hasn't played. So I guess if we took a chance on him like this, we know he'll be good in 2K. So it's kind of hard to balance 2K in real life. Obviously, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but I'm gonna offer this. They don't agree to it right away, which I guess is fair, but in real life, I feel like Chicago would probably accept that, because like, okay, we don't even know if Lonzo's gonna play again. So I'm gonna offer Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I thought for sure that I'd get it to go through. It did not. I'll offer Josh Minott, and we'll go this second round pick and maybe another second. I really want to bring in Lonzo. They don't agree to it. I should probably be trading one of my small forwards, because we have so many small forwards in the roster right now. I'm not trading McDaniels. I just signed Jayshawn Tate, so technically I wouldn't be able to trade him. I should probably try to trade DeAndre Hunter, to be honest with you. So DeAndre Hunter, if I could throw him in this trade, I don't know if Chicago could accept all that. So maybe we keep Naz Reid and then throw Hunter in here instead. They don't agree to it, though, which is fair. And do I offer that Kings pick? I'm okay with it. You know what? Why not? I'm going to move this. All this for Lonzo. They agree. We offer that Kings pick, and they say yes. we bring in Lonzo Ball as a point guard next to Anthony Edwards. So now we're going to move things back to the way they were. Okay, so now this is going to move this. So Edwards, you're going to the shooting guard where you belong. So you're back at shooting guard, which I think I like a little bit better. Lonzo's that point guard. Anthony Black will back him up. Edwards is going to be that 2. I'm going to move AJ Griffin to the 3, and he'll probably go up as well. So he's up to an 82. So now it's all fixed. Lonzo, Anthony Black, Edwards, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, AJ Griffin, McDaniels, Collins, Grant Williams, Gobert, and we were able to keep Naz Reid as well. So just like that, feel pretty good about that. So now we can go to this next season. Lonzo Ball may not be like a secondary scorer, but he's going to be a really nice, again, another really good player that fits perfectly next to Anthony Edwards. So I feel really good. Feel really good about what we've built here. As far as scoring is concerned, gonna just try to get that from a collective group. I think Lonzo can bring that a little bit. Obviously, AJ Griffin's gonna continue to develop on that end. Collins, McDaniels come off the bench for us, and then Anthony Black, Grant Williams. And there's a possibility that we can stop the deadline. Proficiency, it's 4.5, 7 seconds. So with Lonzo Ball coming in, our proficiency goes up even higher. And that feels pretty good. So I will see you guys at the end of the season. And hopefully, this team is a top team in the Western Conference. Trae Young's going to win that MVP award. You got Xavier Booker, Rookie of the Year. Quickly, 6th man. Robinson, Defensive Player. Charles, Most Improved. And Quinn Snyder, Coach of the Year. 69-13. Atlanta's ridiculous. Christopher Bell, Executive. So Trae Young, Luka, Jason Tatum, Giannis, Jokic. Do I get Edwards making an All-NBA team this year? We do. Did he make it last year? I wasn't paying attention. He averaged 33 points per game, by the way. Has he made it in the past? All-Star, 3rd-team All-NBA. So, no, this is his first year making an All-NBA team. So, shout out to him. He did make All-Defense last year, which is really cool. An All-Star 2 times, 2023 and 2025. 2nd-team All-Defense, and then All-Rookies. So, we got 2nd-team All-Defense for him last year as well. W. So, Edwards, shout out to you. And we are the 2nd seed in the West behind New Orleans. So, let's go look at the player stats. So, this really worked out the way we wanted to. AJ Griffin is developing into that guy for us. 20 points per game. So, I'm glad we were able to get him from the Karl-Anthony Towns trade. Really loving it. 15 and 11 from Lonzo. 15 from Collins. 15 from McDaniels. 10 from Naz Reid. 6 from Gobert. And then 6.5 from Anthony Black with 4 assists. And then 4 from Grant Williams. So, are we going to win a championship this year? Well, not really sure. I don't know if we're ready for that, but I feel like we're in a good position that maybe we could pull it off. I like our rotation. We might be ready for this, but we'll see. We get Denver in round 1. It's not going to be easy to take down Denver. They're a very good team, as we know. So game 1, we're up 1-0, 125 to 190, or one, not to 192, 292. We got Edwards dropping 38, Collins with 24. Game 2 up 2-0, 103 to 96. Edwards with 21 and 8, 16 and 11. Game 3 up 3-0 so far. Denver has not taken even one game on us, and we sweep them. So shout out to Minnesota for getting it done to start things off. We got Washington upsetting Atlanta in round 1. So thankfully, if we do make it to the finals, we don't have to deal with Atlanta because they're annoying to deal with. But Oklahoma City, we just beat this team last year. But of course, they only get better every year. You simulate, so it's not like, oh my goodness, we should be able to beat them again. So game 1. We're up 1-0, 114 to 110, 24 or 34, 5 and 2. We took care of them last year. We're gonna do it again. 3-0. Are we gonna? We have not lost a game yet, ladies and gentlemen. We have not lost a game yet, and now we get Houston in the conference finals. So we got Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Kenya Martin, Jabari, Şengün, Vucevic, Kevin Porter, Brandon Miller. Okay, Brandon Miller was the draft pick. So here we go. Game 1, 1-0. Still have not lost a game yet in the playoffs, by the way. Game 2, are we about to go undefeated in the playoffs? No freaking way. Okay, we finally lose. I'm about to say, bro, like, wait a minute. Come on, don't do this. Okay, we beat them in 6, and now we are in the finals. We almost went undefeated in the playoffs to the final, but now we get to play the Cavs. The Cavs probably going to take a few games on us. It's not going to be easy. They also got our former slow-mo, former Kyle Anderson on this Timberwolves team. Drew Eubanks is the backup center. Feel sorry for you, but let's see how this goes. Game 1. They're up 1-0. They beat us by 2. Game 2, we even it up. 132 to 131, 38 and 31 from their backcourt, but 26 and 36 from ours. So let's go. Game 3, up 2-1, 134 to 107, 37, 3 and 4, 23, 6 and 10. Game 4, do we take a 3-1 lead? No. Game 5 is going to be a big one. Can we win it? Yes, we can. Can we win game 6? Yes, we can. Let's go, baby. Timberwolves go out here and they close out the Cavaliers and we win a championship. Anthony Edwards wins finals MVP and we win a championship. AJ Griffin was the big move of the video, in my opinion. He was like, I guess Lonzo as well. Lonzo is always helpful, but AJ Griffin coming out here and being like that secondary guy we need him to be. He was really nice for us. So I'm excited we got AJ Griffin. We ultimately end off on a championship by trading away Karl-Anthony Towns and letting Edwards develop into the full capacity. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely drop a like if you did. I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to check out Ewin Racing. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and head out. I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.